And we're live. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It is Monday. Oops, sorry about that. It's Monday, February 17th, President's Day, celebrating all the presidents, past and present, all presidents. It's President's Day. And those of you that say the current president is not your president, I hope you were at work today. So that being said, that's my political statement of the day. So how are you? How's it going? All right, so let's have a chat about leadership. And tonight it is, because it's Monday, the theme is always sports and leadership. That's what we talk about on Mondays, and typically because a lot of stuff has happened over the weekend. The Daytona 500 got rained out, so I really can't talk about it. And but I should have finished it up today. I just did not follow up on, well, who won or what's the favorite one. I mean, I don't even know half these guys anymore. These names, I have no idea who they are. Stay hydrated, folks. It's spring training. That's what I want to talk about. It hasn't happened yet. Pitchers and catchers have reported. Teams have started. Well, they should have already reported. Excuse me. And they actually start playing the first games, which are just the spring ball, or quote unquote the Grapefruit League, as that's what they call it down here in this my neck of the woods. That's what they'll be playing. And this Friday, the 21st. So there we go. Actually diving right into sports. So that's tonight's topic. It's about spring training, the preseason, the professionals. And what I want to get at is that, well, let me take it to the good book here. Baseball season, and like I said, have spring training. Football, the National Football League has the preseason. Basketball also has the preseason. Same thing with hockey. All professional sports have that. But most professional businesses, small businesses, large businesses, don't have any kind of spring training. They just throw you in. They throw you into the deep end of the pool and hope that you survive. Hope that others take pity on you and teach you the ropes. And in teaching you the ropes, hopefully they're not passing along the bad habits. So something to consider there. Oh my. So again, why is that? I mean, the military, the United States military, has training cycles where people will go and train. They'll go be the bad guys, so the opposing force, and then they'll be the good force, the good guys, and so on and so on. But they're training, they're learning, and if they're not actually out there on deployment doing something, they're training. And even then, when they're deployed, they're still training, because as General Patton said, an ounce of sweat in training prevents a gallon of blood in actual warfare. Now, that's not the exact quote, but that's basically what he was saying, was, sometimes we've got to do what we've got to do. We've got to just sweat a little bit more in training, because, well, when it actually happens, we're prepared for it. We're ready to go. We're ready to rock and roll. And that's what makes us one of the greatest forces on the planet. I'm talking about the military. Professional ball, well, they dedicate this time because they won't start playing until April. So it's March, all of March, and then the last couple of weeks of February. So 45 days of practice. Preseason, they report in June, and they do a couple of games in August, about 4 games in August. And this is NFL side of things, and then they kick off in September. So again, about 2 months, month and a half, give or take, just depending on when everybody shows up. So again, businesses don't do that. And why? Why? Because, well, at best that I have seen, this is from what I have seen, is that as a 2-week course on how to be, well, a 2-week basic course on how to be an employee at that organization. Not necessarily how to do your job better, how to do it effectively, just how to do it that organization's way. Others, well, they'll give you a day, and that's about it. Good luck. Welcome aboard. And again, these are the rules. This is where you'll find the regulations on your own time. Figure out how it gets done. Meanwhile, at the other areas, everybody's trying to be a team, everybody's trying to be cohesive, everybody's trying to work, but they don't have enough time to dedicate, because things are moving 100 miles an hour all the time. And that's where the problem begins. That's where, I know this, I got this, and no, you don't know it, and no, you don't got this, because that's where I stand on that. Having said that, organizations must do whatever they can to dedicate to the new hires and to the tenured staff some time, some preseason, some spring training. Now, I'm not saying that everybody gets that level, but again, you want professionals, you want to build a professional team, you have to dedicate to training. You have to dedicate to training because that's where professionalism is, that's where team building is, and that's how a team of professionals is born. You have to commit to them. Because if they're going to perform at that professional level that these organizations are hiring people to perform at, then they have to dedicate that time, that training time. In the military, it's essential, it's critical, it's life-saving. Lives are saved in training. In business, it's the bottom line, and there's no time for training, no time for team building. That's an expense that we cannot recover. That's an expense on time. That's an expense on spent bringing in somebody to training people, and that's nonsense. You want a professional team, you want a team full of professionals, you want to be the epitome of what you do, then you dedicate time to training. You dedicate time to becoming the best team you can be. The Houston Astros, even through all their fallout, are still already looking forward to another run at the World Series. You know, the Green Bay Packers, guarantee they're today. I mean, Super Bowl ended a couple of weeks back, and that was it. They got the time off, but I guarantee you, those professionals, those NFL players, they missed it by that much. Houston Texans, same thing. Missed it by that much. Guess what they're doing? That's right, they're working it. They're watching film. They're practicing. They're working out. They're honing their craft. They're going to become the best. And can you say that about the person in the warehouse? Can you say that about your reception? The people up front, the people that answer the telephones, are they practicing? Are they honing their skills? Are they becoming the best? Or do they have time to do some self-development, self-professional development, personal growth? Organizations, you have to do that. Employees, you have to ask for it because it is that important. So let's look at the aspects and leadership side of it now that I'm just kind of dumping into that. Professional sports recognizes the need for training. Professional sports, multi-million-dollar operations, billion-dollar operations in some cases, recognize the need for training and concentrating and rehabilitation. Somebody gets injured, guess what? They're not at 100%. We're going to work with that person to get back up to speed. Organizations would rather cut ties and you're gone, you're out of here, we can't work with you, you're not willing to be part of the team. Well, the team is it a team? That's the real true question. So again, organizations, professional organizations recognize that training is more than essential. Employees, it's like I said, the aspects and insights on the employees of this thing, professional training, practice, preparedness, whatever you want, simulation, whatever you want to call it, you have to ask for it. You have to take the initiative and train each other. I heard about a school district not so long ago. Actually, it's already happened this school year. Every month, they'll bring in one substitute teacher to sit in or just be a sub for this one teacher. And this one teacher, during the break period, throughout the whole day, during the break time, the conference time of the other teachers, will gather them and train them for that one class period. Whatever that teacher's proficient at, whatever that teacher's doing right. Now that's thinking outside the box. That is thinking outside the box. How difficult is it for an organization to say, you know what? We're going to pick up sandwiches and we're going to brown bag lunch training. Brown bag training. 1 hour training in-house. It happens. It can happen. It can really, truly happen. But the leadership has to dive into it. So folks, take that to your leaders. Training, cover everything. From answering the telephone, how to respond to an email, to how to shake someone's hand, and then everything else in between. Folks, it is important. The little things eventually become the big things, and vice versa. If you know how to answer the telephone, if you're an effective communicator by email, if you know how to properly shake someone's hand, that little thing will grow into a big thing because it is that important. You're looking, you're working outside the box, you're taking the initiative to just better yourself, better the team, better the organization. Guess what? You're off and running. Imagine if all the sectors, everyone across every Every entity, competition, partners, whatever, stakeholders, whatever, everyone followed that path. Imagine how much better life would be. Imagine how much better life would be as a consumer. You go to the big box stores and you get treated like a human being, not as just, oh, here we go again. No. Someone you call, you need to make a reservation or set an appointment. They answer the ring within the first 3 rings. They don't let it go to voicemail. They don't let it go to their answering service, but they actually answer the telephone because there's someone there dedicated to answer the phone. And if the phone keeps ringing, it rolls over to somebody else who will answer it. And it continues to roll until somebody does answer it. Folks, it's across the board. It impacts everybody. And I guarantee you, one organization decides they want to step up and be, that organization will, guess what? Others will quickly follow. Alrighty. Well, listen, it's Monday. Sports and leadership spring training. If you're a baseball fan, it's just around the corner. So get ready. It's coming. Let's go Astros and get back up on that horse, and let's make things better this year. All right, everyone, listen, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Monday night. I will talk to you. Leadership in the News, that's for Tuesday. We'll talk to you then. Have a good evening.